with Sean and Katie there just to hear a little bit about their life of service in the Church of Blessed Sacrament and their experience.
My name is Sean, and this is Katie. We're the Wheelers. We got married in May 2021, and
We joined Blessed Sacrament
we've been at
a
Blessed
couple months
Sacrament.
after that.
We joined right after we got married, so it's been a little over a year and a half, I think. We both met at WCU. I had started with Father created a coffee shop there, and that was kind of a whole ordeal where I think at the time I didn't even drink coffee and I didn't really know what I was doing, so I hired someone way smarter than me. So I hired Katie, and she really helped a lot, and we really worked on that coffee shop there together for the students. And while we were at WCU, that was really, I think, when both our faith lives kind of transitioned from like a teenager, young adult phase to more of like, what does God actually want me to do in the world? Because it was very geared towards service to other people and being hospitable to other people, and that really like matured our faith. It gave us lots of prayer opportunities in that church to grow closer to Christ as well. And then way farther down the line, when we were off doing our own thing and done with Credo, we started dating and then got married. But
it kind of all took off from there. I think having that experience in college is what nudged us in the direction of like hospitality and service towards others and stewardship within our parish. And of course, as you're growing a relationship and then getting married, and our prayer life together, just having those conversations of, okay, what are we called to do together and how are we going to live this out in other ways? And so that's kind of pulled forward as we started at Blessed Sacrament. We really like going to adoration, having the 24/7 adoration chapel there is awesome. And it's really special at leading the Eucharist there. We talk about that a lot and how cool that is to be a part of that parish and that prayer being that base. And so I think through prayer, we've grown into this, okay, hospitality, what are we going to do within our church? And I saw in the bulletin they needed someone for the Take Meals ministry to kind of help lead that. And I was like, oh, that's hospitality. That's perfect. I'm going to take on that. Sean had really enjoyed reading when we were at St. Paul. And so he reached out. And so it wasn't this, oh, we got to do something to help out. Let's do it. We felt very called in those ways. And it comes naturally to us. It's not, oh, okay, you got to go read on Sunday. It's like, oh, let's go. You got to read on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I think through that prayer life, kind of, we grew up going to Catholic school, but then in college is when we made it our own. And then as we've become adults, we realize how important that is. A lot of times too, after adoration, we have conversations of where we're like, oh my gosh, I have this awesome new idea. Let's get this group of friends together and have a game night and pray rosary together or something like that. So just really leaning on that prayer life has been really big for us and inspires us in different ways.
Yeah, the prayer and adoration, I think, guided us towards opportunities. It wasn't like we just like we search for opportunities, but really like you're praying and you're trying to grow closer to Christ, like those opportunities will almost come to you. But we, throughout our experiences in college and throughout even in Blessed Sacrament, that idea of just service to other people really just like resonates with us very, very well within our marriage. And the being hospitable to people makes them, it's about, not just doing good for them, but like making them feel comfortable and showing them love through the church. And I think a lot more people in our world need that.
Yeah. So we just want to encourage other people to maybe take that special time when you're praying to ask God, okay, what gifts do I have? Where do I fill that hole? And how do I apply that to the areas that I'm involved in now? not only your church, but also maybe your place of work, other activities or groups you're involved in. There's a lot of opportunities when you really start to ask God what's available to you.
That's sweet.
I think with Take Meals Ministry, I took it on being like, oh, this is something that I feel called to do. It wasn't anything that felt like a large thing to take on. But what's really cool to see is maybe to me, it's, oh, I'm using these gifts and it's fairly easy for me. It makes a really big impact in other people. I get a lot of like emails in return of parishioners or families of parishioners saying, thank you, I felt so loved. Like this made me feel so welcome. Um, and that's made me realize just the impact that using our gifts has. Because sometimes you go day to day, it's kind of your norm. You don't realize how big that is for other people and how much that shows God's love. Whereas otherwise, if you don't take that opportunity, there's all those people that might miss out on experience that in that specific way that you can offer those gifts.
Actually, a good example would be we were wasn't in Wichita, we were down in Texas. I was running a race down there, and we just went to some random mass at some random church, just to actually get our Sunday mass, and this guy recognized that we weren't from there. Just we must go there a lot, and he immediately came up to us after mass, introduced himself, asked if we normally go to this mass, and we told him we're from Wichita and stuff, and he was just like extremely just nice and like welcoming, and like even though we felt comfortable, already in the church, it was still just like it kind of brought a lot of joy in that day, just like someone taking the time to even just reach out to us after mass.
That extra step says a lot, and I think when you experience that firsthand, I remember us being in the car and I was like, that's what Jesus would do. Like if he does that in the gospel, he repeatedly reaches out to these people that are maybe unfamiliar with the setting that he's in and brings them in and makes them feel that. And so when you experience that through other people, like we did when we were in Texas, or even just like as we were doing the Blessed Sacrament, we've had other couples already reach out like, hey, let's go get brunch after mass. We've definitely felt that love in that way.